Hello and welcome to this video. In this video we are going to wire up, or rather we're going to draw out how to wire up a Les Paul. This is going to be super easy, especially if you've followed along on my Les Paul Junior, because it's basically just wiring up two Les Paul Juniors in one guitar. So the first thing you're going to need is two pickups. This is a single coil, but usually you will have humbuckers. And you will have a lead wire and a ground wire coming off the pickup. The lead wire will have a colored wire, red or yellow or something like that, while the ground wire will be black, or possibly it will be a bare wire. Some humbuckers has the option for splitting coils or something similar, and you will have 4 wires. And for this one, we're not going to focus on that. So check in the papers that comes with your pickups and you'll figure out which colored wire is the ground and which colored wire is the lead. And those are the two you'll use for this one. You're also going to need 4 potentiometers. And the way we're going to look at them when I draw them is from the back like this. So not from the top like this, from the back. That means that this will be the first leg and this will be the last leg. Just so you know and can keep track of what I'm drawing. You're also going to need a output jack. They look like this. And they have 2 legs that you solder wires to. This leg is connected to the middle ring in there, and that's the ground. And this one is connected to this sleeve that sticks up, and that's the lead. If you look at a jack, you have this sleeve right here, and that's the ground connection. Then you have a spacer to separate them, and then you have the tip, and that's the lead. And if we press this in, you can see how those two touch and how these two touch. And these two will then be the lead, and this will be the ground. You're also going to need a switch, a 3-way switch. This is not the switch you're going to need. This is just to show you that you're going to need a switch. I'm going to make a separate video on switches, so look for that one. As of recording this, I haven't done it yet, but I will do it real soon. And that's just because then you can match up the wiring with whatever switch you have, instead of me showing you a switch here and going through that, and then maybe you don't have the same switch, and then you won't be able to follow along, basically. So that's why I'm doing it that way. If the video isn't out and you're in a hurry, you can always look up how to wire a switch. They are very easy to understand, but you can also have a little bit of patience if you want to. You're also going to need 2 capacitors. This is just to show you that you need a capacitor. This is not the capacitor that we're putting in the guitar. That's because we're just drawing. We don't even have a guitar. But anyway, you're going to need 2 capacitors. Okay, so we will have 2 pickups, and I'm going to draw them here, and I'm going to draw them here, which will make sense soon. And from these pickups, you will have a ground wire. You all know this, because I just said it. And you will have a lead wire, like so. And then you will have your 4 pots. So you will have 1 pot here and 1 pot here. And I'm going to redraw that a little bigger. 1 pot here, and then 1 pot here and 1 pot here. And they will have 3 legs each. And as I already said, they are shown from the back. Anyway, here you have the pots, like so. And then you will have your switch here in the middle, like this. And as I've said before, this is a generic switch. I'll go through switches in a separate video, just so if you have a switch and I have another switch, you will be able to match things together and everything will work out. And we're going to wire this up basically like a Les Paul Junior and this like a Les Paul Junior. And then we're going to put them together. And some interesting things are going to happen. The ground from this will be connected here and here. So everything is connected. It's on the back. So the pickup ground wire just gets soldered to the back enclosure. And then a wire from that gets connected to the next one. And the same thing here, like so. So both are connected. And then we're also going to do 1 wire that connects them to each other, so that they're both grounded. I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, relax. It will soon. We're going to take this lead wire and we are going to connect it there, and this one, and connect it there. Basically, the first leg here on the pot. And then we're going to take the last leg here and the last leg here, and we're going to solder them to the back of the pot. So basically, it's like bending the leg back like this and solder it to the back enclosure. If you are uncomfortable with doing that, which I can understand, you can put a little wire in between. You can also use this as a looping wire and solder it to the back there, to that pot, through that pot leg, and then to the back of this, instead of just like that. But I thought this might look neater. The next thing we will do is we will connect our pots, tone pots. Actually, let's write this out so we understand. Here we have the neck, and here we have the bridge. Here we have the tone, and here we have the tone, and here we have the volume, and here we have the volume. Do you understand? Of course you do. You're brilliant. We will have a wire from the last leg of the tone to the first leg of the volume, on both, like so. Basically, that leg there on the tone, the last one, to that leg there on the volume. And then we'll take our capacitor and we'll just bridge it across from the middle leg on both of these to the back of the pot. And just so you're sure, now obviously this one capacitor I'm just showing to have something to show, but like that, from the middle leg there to the back enclosure, like that. One leg on one side and the other on the other side. I'm just showing you that one to show you a capacitor. It's not the capacitor that is going in the guitar. But if you have a favorite capacitor for your guitars, please write them in the comments below so that people who are unsure on what capacitor they should use and that want some help or some guidelines can look in the comments for maybe some inspiration. I always appreciate it when you guys are helping each other out and when you're giving good advice on how to do things. And I think the guitar community becomes better the more we help each other out and the more we are working together. So please do it. I appreciate it. Let's continue. The last thing is we have to connect our output jack, and I'll draw it over here. So here is the output jack, like so. Let's make that a little mixier. There we go. You will have a ground wire, and you can actually just put that ground wire anywhere because everything is grounded together. So let's just pull that ground wire over here, like so. Let's then take our switch, and you will have one part going here, and you will have one part going here. And then you will have a lead to the switch as well, something like that. So that when you pull the switch up, this is connected, and when you pull the switch down, this is connected. And you basically select which one of the two, or if you want to have both in the middle position, which Les Paul Jr. you want to use, because it's basically just Les Paul Jr. Now this is getting kind of clogged, but there is one thing left to do, or two things, because you might have a ground wire here that needs to connect to somewhere, like so. Some switches, they don't have a ground wire and don't need a ground wire, so you might not need the ground wire there, but you might also need it. If you notice that your guitar is popping and that you are having issues, you might want to think about getting a ground wire. You're also going to need a ground wire that goes to your bridge. I'm just going to draw a square here with some saddles, blah, 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 like that. And this is your bridge. Bridge. There you have it. Now you know. On something like, for example, a Stratocaster, you have a claw on the back, and that's where you're connecting your ground wire to your bridge. But on a Les Paul, you have pole pieces that stick up from the top and is holding the bridge and the tailpiece for your bridge. And in the hole that they are sunken into, you will have another hole for a wire that is your bridge. So if you are, for example, building a Les Paul, you'll have to drill that hole. But if you maybe have a old guitar that has been stripped of everything and you're just applying new things, look for that hole in one of those holes and see if you can find it and put a ground wire through that hole. If you don't have one or can't find it in any of them, you're gonna have to drill a new one. It's super scary to do, but it's not really that hard to do. You just need to find a really long and really thin drill bit. And I promise you, it's worth doing, because it's really annoying to have a guitar that is not grounded connected correctly, and it will bother you. So make sure you have a ground wire to your bridge. This is all. You might wanna connect a ground wire across from those two, but don't do it, because you'll get a ground loop, which can mess things up. So be careful to not do that. I hope this helped, and if it did, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you think this idea of drawing out how to build something is a good idea, and if it is, we'll continue doing it, because I'm doing these basic wiring things so that I can later get into more advanced things like coil splitting and tapping and kill switches and stuff. But I want to get the basics of basic guitars out of the way first. So let me know if drawing it out is a good idea, if it helps, if it's a good way to learn about wiring guitars. I appreciate any comments you have. And again, if you have any favorite capacitors, would love to see some in the comments below. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Until next time, stay awesome and cool, and go and wire up your Les Paul and make some amazing, beautiful music that we can all enjoy and have fun. It's always the most important part. Even if you don't know what you're doing, have fun. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!